Both the new government and the populace become so desperate for income that they institute the California Grand Lottery. According to its rules, if someone kills the lottery winner before sundown, they are lawfully entitled to the jackpot, provided no bullets are used. By 2030 in Los Angeles, Sean has just won the lottery and is now fleeing an enormous crowd bent on ending his life. Sean wastes no time fending off his attackers, swiftly overpowering them before scaling a fence to escape. Afterward, he enters a house through a window and confronts an elderly lady, instantly confiscating and destroying her phone. Outside, a drone monitors his every movement. As Sean catches his breath, the woman whips out a Grand Lottery bolt gun to shoot him on the spot. She then breaks her ticket to summon the lottery officials, who burst in and verify the winner's demise. Handed a massive check worth $22 million, she appears on television. A month later, Katie arrives in LA to revive her acting career. On the bus, she keeps looking at a small Oscar keychain, seemingly a cherished keepsake. Nearby is a little girl, so Katie entertains her with funny faces, but the child's father mocks his daughter over the phone. Katie moves closer to him, pretending to be law enforcement, and threatens to involve social services if he doesn't improve his behavior. Immediately, the man becomes kinder to his daughter, and an older woman steps forward to thank Katie for her intervention. However, when that woman leaves, Katie notices her own watch is missing. Katie then sees a billboard for Lewis's protection agency and wishes she had bodyguards like that. As the bus rolls on, she observes how everyone on the street seems either tense or aggressive, sometimes both. Meanwhile, the media non-stop reports on the upcoming lottery drawing, which will occur in 18 hours. Record-breaking ticket sales have pushed the next prize to $3.6 billion. Inside his home, Noel prepares his arsenal while humming the Ninja Turtles theme song. Eventually, Katie arrives at the place she rented online and immediately realizes her new roommate, Shadi, misrepresented the apartment's condition. It's awful. Shadi herself is equally irritating. Photos of her clutter Katie's room, she cracks offensive jokes, and she avoids calls from her caring mother. Shadi's obnoxious boyfriend, DJ, also makes an appearance, slapping Katie in what he calls a prank, while giving her the house keys. The next day, Noel's commercial shows up on TV, advertising his protective services for whoever wins the lottery. Upon waking, Katie is horrified by a leaky upstairs bathroom that has ruined her clothes. She calls Shadi to complain, especially with an audition in a few hours. But Shadi's only solution is to rent out some of her own clothes. Left with no options, Katie spends what little she has on a terrible outfit and takes a cab because she's already running late. The driver makes inappropriate remarks and gossips about celebrities, revealing that Machine Gun Kelly owns a private bunker. Once Katie arrives at the audition site, a staffer charges her $400 to participate. Katie begins explaining she acted in several child TV commercials but had to stop to care for her ailing mother. After her mother's death, she decided to return to acting. She reaches into her pocket for her monologue notes and unexpectedly pulls out Shadi's lottery ticket, which scans her thumbprint and activates. It photographs her face, officially registering her as a contestant. Katie quickly pockets it and attempts to audition, but she's promptly disliked and dismissed. In the hallway, some of the actresses initially try to show support. Enjoying the story so far? Subscribe, like, and share your thoughts in the comments below. Your support powers our adventures. Don't forget to hit the bell so you never miss an update. Now, let's dive back into the adventure. Abruptly, all their tickets light up, announcing Katie as the winner and displaying her image. Their attitudes shift, and they attack her with anything on hand. Some wield knives. Even the staff joins in. Drawing on her stage combat training, Katie dodges a flying shoe before racing for the stairs, baffled by what is unfolding. Reaching the next floor, she darts into a room, leaving the actresses behind. Unfortunately, it's a self-defense class, and these people are also out for her blood. They call her My Jackpot as they strike, forcing Katie to scamper around, ducking hits or causing them to collide with each other. Whenever she tries to ask what's going on, they pay no heed. During the frenzy, Katie is punched and seized by her ankles. A man swings her around, flinging her straight through a wall and into a yoga class where more individuals stand ready to kill. The self-defense group follows, and pandemonium engulfs the area, with blood beginning to flow. When someone grabs Katie by the neck, Noel drops in through the ceiling, hurling the attacker into the wall to rescue her. He declares Katie will receive 5 free saves from him, after which his protection requires a 10% share of the prize. He easily dispatches several people, and upon using up the complimentary rescues, Katie has no alternative but to sign his contract. He then fights in earnest, even using Katie as a weapon to knock others back. He ties her to his back for safety, and wields a belt like a whip, attacking from a distance. After taking down all foes, Katie wriggles free and grabs Noel's paralysis dart gun. He recovers it with little effort, then meticulously arranges the unconscious bodies so they won't suffocate on their tongues. He informs her that the lottery drone already outside posts the winner's coordinates every 14 minutes, so they must hurry. Leaving the building, Noel notes that lottery participants are prohibited from killing each other. People at a nearby food truck hurl a knife, and Noel helps Katie evade it before they jump into his car and speed away. Driving through the city, bystanders receive notifications of Katie's whereabouts and gear up to join the pursuit. An ice cream truck abandons its young customers, and even the bus lady brandishes a grand lottery bolt gun. Noel finishes outlining the lottery's rules. Astounded, Katie knew nothing about them. Katie explains that she and her mother never watched the news, only movies and baking shows, since current events were too grim. Soon, a horde of bikers and ATVs give chase, so Noel hands helmets to both of them before accelerating. Someone tosses a Molotov cocktail onto the car's roof, causing a fire, but Noel keeps going and steers into an old warehouse where the flames blow out. He suddenly reverses, making a biker slam into the car, but he must keep navigating inside the warehouse to dodge other riders who start a fresh fire. Katie wants to quit playing, but the only exit is leaving the city altogether. Noel darts one adversary, then spins the car around while additional enemies fling objects at them. Clouds of dust provide cover, allowing them to maneuver the car outside quietly, unnoticed until the next Molotov ignites on the floor. Katie insists on quitting, and Noel promises to escort her to the nearest quit line. Just then, the bikers spot them again, reigniting the chase. One rival climbs through the rear window, so Katie grabs her knife while Noel readies more darts, but the woman bites his arm. Noel uses the mirror to strike her, then orders Katie to drive, ignoring her claims that she doesn't know how. He moves to the back seat, continuing the fight and placing an extra helmet on the woman before kicking her out. Another Molotov is hurled, so Noel tells Katie to plow through a wall to flee. They momentarily block another car, causing one biker to crash, and Katie knocks out a different biker with her helmet. The pair tries to depart, but their vehicle barely budges before breaking down, heavily damaged. Katie attempts to escape on foot, but Noel restrains her, explaining he won't earn a dime if she quits, yet still wants to help, because one should treat others as they themselves wish to be treated. Suddenly, Katie hurls sand at his eyes and punches him, prompting Noel to snap his nose back into place. Just then, a police car pulls up, and Katie appeals to them for assistance, but they also mean to kill her. Noel intercepts their taser in time and begins fighting, enabling Katie to run off. In the street, she conceals her face with a map, while curious onlookers notice the drone overhead and start to close in. Seeking refuge in a wax museum, she discovers a guard who opposes the lottery and permits her to hide among the figures. She phones Shadi to borrow her car, but Shadi's repeated inquiries about her whereabouts make Katie realize Shadi is also playing. Shadi and DJ try to enter, but the guard reminds them they're barred for previously engaging in illicit behavior with a statue. Shadi knocks out the guard with a punch, and the pair rush inside. Katie overhears them and crouches behind a statue. Yet as she attempts to slip away, she's spotted. DJ forces her onto a desk, prompting Katie to throw a bottle at Shadi's head and scatter sand into DJ's face to shake free. The duo teams up to attack Katie, who brandishes a staff taken from a statue. She tries to flee when the moment arises, but Shadi kicks her, making her drop the staff. Moving into the next room, Shadi and DJ hit Katie with the two halves. Katie retaliates by tossing statues, mistaking them for Cher when they're actually the Kardashians. Their confrontation continues in the horror exhibit, with each side grabbing whatever prop is nearby. After a rough exchange involving costumes and fake weapons, Katie bolts as Shadi flings an axe which lands but is merely a prop. Katie hits a button to lower the shutter, remembering Noel's advice at the last second. She positions the guard's unconscious body so he won't choke, then tumbles outside just before the shutter closes, trapping Shadi and DJ inside. Immediately, a tour bus guide sees her and shouts her location through the mic. Noel shows up in a police car to whisk her away before the crowd converges. Katie continues doubting his motives because if she quits, he earns nothing, leading her to suspect he plans to kill her away from prying eyes. The tour bus keeps ramming the police car from behind. Noel wishes they had a bunker, prompting Katie to recall the driver's mention of Machine Gun Kelly's fortress. Soon, they arrive at Kelly's mansion, and Kelly assumes Katie wants something indecent when she asks for help. The bus appears, so Katie seizes Noel's dart gun and forces Kelly to unlock his panic room. They rush inside, tranquilize Kelly with a dart, and struggle to seal the door as a mob floods the living room. A hand wedges in the doorway, and Noel points his gun, leading Katie to believe he's aiming at her. She snatches the weapon, firing a dart at the hand, causing it to recoil. Finally, they secure the door. The safe room is fully equipped, allowing them to watch the chaos via security cameras. Still wary, Katie keeps the gun on Noel so he quietly sits beside her, mentioning harmless personal trivia to show he means no harm. Her keychain slips out, and when Noel compliments it, Katie explains she wanted to act for her mom, who adored films and celebrities. Her mother understood how brutal Hollywood can be and gave Katie the keychain as a gesture of unwavering pride. She'd once earned decent money as a child performer, but her father vanished with every penny. Noel empathizes and Katie returns his gun. She asks why he would help her quit, and he replies that his first priority is saving lives, and his second is making just enough money to keep doing it. Outside, the crowd relentlessly pounds on the door. Shadi attempts to revive Kelly with a slap, but fails. She drags him into the pool, threatening him until he reveals the door code, 6969. Katie and Noel observe everything, irritating Noel because he must now request a favor. He orders a phone strike and quickly places Katie's phone in a safe. They brace the door as Shadi enters the code, but everyone freezes when an Amber Alert suddenly sounds on their phones. It's a ruse. The phones detonate, causing burns on various body parts. Amid the turmoil, Katie and Noel slip out, though Noel briefly stops to extinguish flames on someone's groin. Outside, a squad of guards equipped with reinforced vehicles and rubber bullet guns awaits them. They aim to collect Katie, but she insists they take Noel too. While traveling, Katie asks if Noel is connected to them, and he explains he used to be but now freelances. Shortly thereafter, they arrive at a facility where she meets Lewis, the head of the security company. Katie remains unimpressed as Lewis mocks Noel and refuses to drive her out of the city. He hands her a fresh phone, pointing out this is the safest building around, flaunting the grenades he carries. With just 4 hours left, Lewis guides them past a wall showcasing rescued winners, all labeled anonymous, adding they haven't had many clients lately. Lewis says they demand 30%, and Katie signs after ensuring Noel gets a portion. Following that, they spot a swelling crowd on the surveillance monitors, so Lewis decides to transfer Katie to a covert underground location using decoy vehicles. First, Katie and Noel receive medical treatment, and Noel shares more about his past. He and Lewis once worked as private mercenaries, traveling the globe to eliminate supposedly evil individuals. Over time, Noel realized they were sometimes killing innocents and abandoned one operation mid-mission. The job collapsed, leaving only him and Lewis alive. Now he donates his income to the relatives of those victims and his fallen teammates. Katie admits her dad managed her career since she was 8, forcing her to work constantly. When she turned 18, she tried to claim her earnings, so he vanished with them. Katie was left to care for her ill mother, who died a month ago, leaving behind just $600 and a bus ticket to Los Angeles. At this point, a staffer wheels in a prosthetics machine. Katie places her face inside, and it applies a mask resembling an older man. Still, Noel grows suspicious, believing this operation is too costly to fund with only 30% from old payouts, especially with minimal clientele. After Katie completes her disguise, Noel finally understands Lewis is merely pretending to guard lottery winners before killing them himself. Lewis leads them toward a car, and Katie repeatedly demands Noel accompany her. Lewis declines, so in desperation, Katie kicks him in the groin, and Noel uses the diversion to lift the garage door. He shoots the guards with his darts as the crowd swarms inside, failing to recognize Katie in disguise. Noel hustles her out, hands her a guard's stolen keycard, and urges her to flee while he stalls for time. Additional guards subdue Noel as Lewis kicks him for details. Suddenly, the AI-controlled decoy cars depart, with Katie hidden in one, prompting Lewis to send his forces in pursuit. Downtown, Katie removes the mask and takes the wheel, alerting Lewis's system when the route changes. Meanwhile, social media erupts because the drone has lost track of Katie, meaning she can avoid pursuit until sundown if she stays cautious. Throngs of people champion her as a hero. Moments later, Katie is on the brink of leaving the city, but receives a call from Lewis, threatening to kill Noel unless she returns. He stabs Noel multiple times while Noel begs Katie to escape. After wrestling with indecision, Katie spins the car around and agrees to meet. Meanwhile, Lewis drags Noel to an old theater, admitting he knew they were murdering innocents for profit back in their mercenary days. He also confesses he doesn't like sharing, so he killed their squad to frame Noel. With only 15 minutes left, Katie retrieves a bolt gun from the glove compartment and rushes into the theater, spotting Lewis and Noel on stage. She threatens to end her own life to prevent any payout, which Lewis doubts. Katie reminds him he intends to kill her anyway, and reveals she's streaming this ordeal live so he can't cover it up. She angrily vents about her life's miserable state, nearly pulling the trigger before Lewis finally relinquishes the handcuff keys, offering a compromise. Katie pretends to comply, teasing that she'll hand over the gun, only to kick him off stage, showing she'd been acting. With Lewis briefly down, the rest of the players storm in, going after Katie once more. Everyone she encountered today crowds every exit, forcing Katie to grab any nearby objects to fend them off. Lewis suddenly seizes her leg, causing her to tumble. He attempts to kill her, but a police officer intervenes, only to be kicked aside as Lewis continues his assault. Another wave bursts in, so Noel, still handcuffed to a chair, fights them while singing the Ninja Turtles tune. The chair breaks, granting Noel extra maneuverability. Katie bites Lewis, takes his weapon, then hurls the keys to Noel so he can free himself. While Noel battles Lewis, Shadi charges in wielding a katana at Katie, who promptly disarms her with a headbutt. With 4 minutes to spare, a massive crowd pours into the theater. Noel remains locked in combat with Lewis, compelling Katie to scramble up the stage decorations for safety. Lewis grabs an axe from another player, and Noel uses a pair of cymbals to defend himself, finally overpowering his former partner. The bus lady attempts to climb after Katie, so Katie kicks her away. Noel starts dismantling the setup to block anyone from following Katie. More of Lewis's men arrive. Half of them form a human ladder for Lewis, while the rest pin Noel. Lewis reaches Katie on the scaffolding, and they exchange blows until Katie slips. Dangling precariously, she reveals she used her keychain to activate one of his grenades, which detonates. Lewis is killed by the explosion, and Katie plummets, but her new fans rush to catch her in a large flag. As the countdown hits 0, she embraces Noel, pledging to give him half the winnings. The lottery team appears with her check, and she announces she no longer wants to pursue acting. Fast forward 6 months, and Katie and Noel collaborate on various charitable causes, such as a free protection service, a stage combat school, and a center for children with negligent parents. Noel tries opening a Ninja Turtles-themed pizzeria, only to face a copyright lawsuit. Together, they also enjoy a getaway aboard their private super yacht.